Hey guys, welcome back to Ian's Fish Room. Today I want to tell you about an awesome event that's coming soon to Morgantown, Pennsylvania. If you're anywhere near Morgantown, Pennsylvania, within a few hours, you are not going to want to miss this upcoming event. What event am I talking about? I'm talking about the Keystone Clash 2022. This is probably the biggest event that is put on by aquarists for aquarists. It is all about the aquarium hobby, but is from not the manufacturing side. This isn't to put on a show or to get you to buy more products. This is all about you being able to show what you have, be able to learn from other aquarists, and it's just an awesome opportunity that you guys can participate in. This year, the Keystone Clash is going to be taking place September 23rd through the 25th. So it's Friday into Sunday. There's things to do every one of those nights. I'm going to talk a little bit about what those things are, but it's put on by two different aquarium clubs. It's put on by the Aquarium Club of Lancaster and the Cichlid Club of York. And these are two aquarium clubs that are they're growing, they're doing awesome, and they want to make sure that they're sharing the hobby with all of you. So there are several different ways that you can participate in this year's Keystone Clash. First, there is a fish show, and that fish show is basically you bringing fish and me bringing fish and a lot of the other aquarists in the area and, some from farther away bringing in fish that we all can enjoy and see, and they're actually going to be judged. And so bring your best fish. You can sign up on their website. I'll make sure I leave a link down below. But there's a fee that's only like $3 to be able to show your fish. I think that's awesome. So I'm going to show you a couple of the fish that I'm thinking about bringing. I'd love for you guys to put down in the comments which ones you think I should actually bring to the Clash. First, I have these cherry shrimp that I'm considering bringing to the Clash. Now, I think my cherry shrimp are really pretty beautiful. I think they've got some great coloring. And so this is definitely on the top of my list as far as potential for bringing. Another type of shrimp that I have is these diamond blue shrimp. They are almost black. I know this one looks pretty black, but they do breed kind of that very dark blue, sometimes black coloring. It's a little bit hard to get on camera, but this is another one of the shrimp that I'm considering bringing. The next thing I'm considering is these Bosemani rainbows. Now, I've shown these guys on my channel multiple times, and it seems that you guys enjoy these. I definitely think it's a beautiful fish that's, one that most people do enjoy. So I definitely think I might bring these as ones I'm kind of leaning towards. But the other option I have is this Gardener Eye killifish, rather. I absolutely love this fish. It's hard to get on camera because he moves so quick. I'll try to get a good picture here for you guys. But this is kind of that last thing that I'm considering bringing. And let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think I should bring? The fish show is only the first way that you can participate in the Keystone Clash. There's also an aquascaping competition. Now, I've already signed up for it, and if you're interested in doing that aquascaping competition, go ahead and make sure you sign up. They're going to provide the tanks, all of the stuff that you're going to need to aquascape. If you want to have fish in your aquascapes, you're going to need to bring those yourself. But other than that, they're going to provide all of that for you, all the tank and all the materials you need. Now, there are only 12 spots, and I already took one. So if you want to do that, you want to participate in that aquascaping challenge, make sure that you guys sign up for that quickly, because that is, I'm guaranteeing, not going to last long. The first place winner of that is actually going to get to keep the tank that's being provided, along with the light and the filtration, everything that's there, or they can choose to auction that off and take whatever that aquascape ends up selling for during the auction. We'll talk about the auction in a little bit, but if they want to do that and sell it, then they can take home any kind of money that they might win from that sale. One of my favorite things that the Keystone Clash has done every year is they actually do a give a kid a tank. Basically, if you sign your kids up and they're a young kid, basically allows them to get their first fish tank ever for free. They provide, again, materials for you. They include the tank and the light and all the things that are going to go into that, including some plants and some decor and things of that nature. I don't remember if they include fish or not. You may have to get your own fish, but it might include those as well. But if you're interested, you have a young kid or maybe you know somebody else who has a young kid that would be interested in that, make sure they get signed up for that, because that is an awesome opportunity to get some new kids into the hobby. Another really cool thing that they have at the Keystone Clash every year, on the last day there, they actually have an auction. And there's all kinds of things at the auction. Last year, I was able to get some eggs from Gary Lang, which, if you guys know anything about rainbow fish, Gary Lang is the man when it comes to rainbow fish. And I was able to get some eggs from him during one of his auctions. But they have a lot of other things that are available at auctions. It includes fish, includes plants, but also includes some hard to find books and some other things of that nature. Just lots of things that you might be interested in as a aquarist. There's always something there that you might find that you've been looking for, or maybe just something you didn't even know you needed, and you see it and you're like, yep, that's what I want to take home with me. Another way that you can actually be highly involved is they also have a vendor room, and there is going to be at least 27 vendors that I know of that are signed up already for the Keystone Clash. And some of them I'm sure you guys are familiar with, some of them may be new. There's going to be some specific local fish stores that are going to be there selling, as well as some other YouTubers who sell fish on the side, like Michael's Fish Room. I know he's going to be there. I know Keith from KG Aquatics is going to be there. I know Dylan from Veteran Aquatics is going to be there. And they're all going to be selling. There's going to be some other smaller, other people who sell fish as well. There's going to be a lot of variety of different fish there, a lot of variety of different items you can buy. And last year I was able to find some absolutely beautiful driftwood that I was able to get home or get at the Clash and bring home and do some of my aquascapes with. So there's a lot of great stuff. Definitely save your money up. Be ready to bring it with you because you're going to want to buy a lot of the things that are there for sale. Now, last year, one of my favorite things about the Clash was the speakers that they brought in. And they had some absolutely amazing speakers that come in last year. Gary Lang was there. Jennifer Williams, who does some amazing aquascapes, has won a lot of things. She was there. There were some other speakers there. They're all fantastic. Really well done. Really great presentations. I learned a lot, and I think that you will learn a lot as well. This year, they actually have 5 different speakers, and I'm really excited to see how the schedule is going to play out because they actually looks like they have a lot more presentations this year than they did last year. I know Keystone Clash has been working hard to make this the biggest show they've had yet. And so I'm pretty excited about the speakers that they have coming in. The first speaker they're going to have come in is a guy by the name of Greg Steves. Now, Greg, I don't know these speakers real well, so I'm just going to tell you based on what I was looking at on the Keystone Clash's website, he's going to be doing 2 presentations. The first presentation that he's going to be doing is one on haps. Now, I'm not big into cichlids, but it's something, if I was going to do some cichlids, I think haps is definitely the ones I want to do. They're absolutely beautiful. Not that I don't have any experience with cichlids, but mostly I've stuck to the dwarf cichlids, more of the community, Planet Aquarium community tanks. So I don't have a lot of experience, but I do want to learn more about cichlids, and I may end up doing some cichlid tanks in the future, but haps is definitely the one where I'd want to start because it seems like they have the most beautiful fish. So he's going to be doing a presentation on haps. If you're interested in cichlids, you're going to love that. If you don't know much about cichlids, you're going to love it too because you're going to have an opportunity to learn a lot. The other presentation he's going to be doing is actually on, I guess, some native fish from the Camel River. I think that's in Texas. Don't quote me on that. You guys can go to the website and learn some more about that there. But again, I'm really excited about those 2 presentations that he's going to be doing. The next speaker is Tom Keegan. Now, he's going to be doing something that, to me, I think this is actually going to be really neat and something that probably anybody can learn from, anybody can enjoy. And what he's actually doing a presentation on is he's done a lot of research and read an awful lot of research based around fish and their senses and how they can understand, the environment around them. So those things that, we have our 5 basic senses. He's done a lot of research into that with fish and what they can understand. And not only about their senses, but also their cognition, their ability to think basically based on those senses. So I really don't understand any of that. I'm very excited to hear some information from, about how fish think and how those senses work. So definitely that's one I really want to catch. The next speaker is by a guy by the name of Jim Cummings, and he's going to be doing 2 different presentations on cichlids. So he's going to be talking about Madagascar and Indian cichlids. Again, I don't know a lot about cichlids, so I am pretty excited about this year's class to be able to learn a lot about that. He's also going to be doing a presentation on keeping and breeding Central American cichlids. So I think those are two great topics that I'm really going to enjoy learning more information about. The fourth presenter that they're going to have this year is a guy by the name of Joe Gargas. And I apologize to these guys if I messed up any of their names. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing all of these right. But Joe Gargas is actually going to do a presentation on basically water and water parameters. And I don't know what all that's going to include, but he's also going to be doing a second presentation on CO2 in the Planet Aquarium, and basically a DIY CO2, I think, is kind of what he's going to be talking about. But I'm really curious to see that presentation as well and to learn more. As you guys know, I do keep CO2 in one of my tanks. A lot of my tanks I don't, but there's one. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about what he has learned and to kind of share that knowledge with me that he has gained over the years. So the last speaker, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess up this name, even if I've gotten all the other ones right, the last speaker is a guy by the name of Kulp Mandrakar. And so I don't know if I pronounced that right, but he's actually going to be doing a presentation on seahorses and keeping seahorses. So apparently he started keeping seahorses when he was 17, has kept them on and off for many years, is working in the industry and basically with seahorses. And so I think he's going to bring a vast knowledge to that topic and be able to teach us a lot about seahorses. It's something I've never really thought about keeping, but I am really interested in it. You know, I think it's one of those, I learn a little bit about seahorses, and I do think, man, those things are crazy. They're awesome. But I definitely don't know enough about keeping them now that I would even consider it. So maybe after, listening to him, maybe I'd feel like, oh, maybe it's something I might be able to do in the future. But that's the last speaker that's going to be presenting at the Keystone Clash this year. So I am personally pretty excited about Keystone Clash. Like I mentioned, I went last year, but one of the things for me that is so cool about going to the Keystone Clash is where it is located in Morgantown, Pennsylvania, is actually where I grew up. It's not where I live anymore, but I grew up right there in that area. And where they're holding the Keystone Clash is at an inn, or a hotel and inn, but it's also connected to what used to be, when I was a kid, called Mom's Mall. I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember correctly, but I think that is actually the place that I bought my very first fish when I was probably like 6 or 7 years old, and I went shopping with my older sister and we bought some fish. I'm almost positive that is the place we got them. And I've told the story a little bit before about going out and getting some fish, getting a shark. I have no idea what it was. I just knew it was cool because it was a shark. I thought that thing's got to be awesome. It didn't last long. It didn't live long, but I still have that memory of that first fish I ever bought, although I don't know exactly what it was. And it was there at the mall. So it's kind of neat for me, almost full circle, going back to Morgantown, Pennsylvania, going to Keystone Clash, learn about fish, something I didn't know anything of when I first bought a fish. But right there, not only was it the first place I, went and bought fish, it also was one of the first jobs I ever had. So after it was Mom's Mall, it turned into, I think it was like Furniture Outlet or the Furniture Outlet in Morgantown or something like that. But I worked at a store, actually 2 different stores. I worked there for a while as a stock boy. So for me, this is kind of a neat opportunity to kind of go back home. I'll actually be able to stay with my family while I'm there, but also just be able to see how much the town has changed and kind of be able to enjoy that for myself. So I hope you guys will be there. If you are there, make sure you come say hello to me. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be involved with the aquascaping competition. I'm going to be bringing some fish to show. I'm going to be doing some live streaming right from the clash. Make sure you come and say hello to me. I am looking forward to this, and I want to see you guys there.